In this video, we are going to be talking about how to find the equation of a circle in standard form given the center and a point that is on the circle. So, to do this, we need three things to be able to write the equation. We need h, k, and r. We have h and k. What we don't have is r. But we have an xy value. So we're going to plug in everything we do know into our equation in standard form and solve for what we don't know, which is r squared. So I'm going to plug in for x, I'm going to plug in negative 20, our point that passes through this, or that is on the circle, minus our h value, which is negative 5, that's the x value of the center, square it, plus our y value of the point, negative 19, oops, not comma, and minus our k value, which is the y coordinate of our center, square that, equals what we don't know is r squared. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify. Negative 20 plus 5, right, minus a negative is plus, would be negative 15 squared, plus negative 19 minus 10 is negative 29 squared, and negative 15 squared is positive 225, negative 29 squared is positive 841, and then when I add those together, I get 1066. Now, technically, you could take the square root of this to find r, but we don't really need to. What we need to plug into our equation is r squared, which is what we found. So to write my equation in standard form, I take x minus our h, which is negative 5 still, squared, plus h minus our k, which is still negative 10, or sorry, just 10, equals r squared, which we just found was 166. And then to go ahead and simplify, when we subtract a negative, that becomes plus, whoops, that should be a y there, not an h, y minus 10 squared equals 1066. And there you go. So again, notice that our h and k were negative 5 and positive 10. In the equation, they have the opposite signs of positive 5 and negative 10, and that equaled the r square that we found, right? Go ahead and try the example on the right-hand side. All right, let's see how you did. So we're going to write the equation of a circle centered at 6, 2 that passes through 5, 16. Right, so this is our h, and this is our k, it's our center, and these are xy values that are on the circle. So we're going to plug those into our formula. So x is 5 minus our h, which is 6 squared, plus our y value is 16 minus k, which is 2 squared, equals r squared, which is what we're trying to find. Right, to write an equation, we need h, k, and r. We have h and k, have to find r. Well, technically r squared. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. 16 minus 2 is 14. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. And 14 times 14 is 196. So r squared is 197. And we don't really have to go any further than that for our equation purposes. If you were asked to find r, you would have to take the square root. But since we just want r squared for our standard form equation, we're just going to leave it like that. So, plug in what we know. X minus our h, 6, plus y minus our k, which is 2 squared, equals r squared, we just found was 197. And there you go. So x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. There's our standard form of the equation.